our day. So when you're in Auschwitz, that you live with that. You're there all the time. You don't walk away from it.
I believe you mentioned you were 13 years old when you got to Auschwitz. Was it not unusual for a 13-year-old to work?
How did you survive when you were only 13?
When they were marching us on this death march, I had a friend next to me, a young girl, and we talked about escape. And at that point, escape was a little bit easier because the guards were already afraid. They had a sense of the war was ending. When we came to this forest, my friend pulled me and we ran into the forest and we watched the rest of them march away. We stayed in this forest through the night. The next morning, we left this forest and we walked into a town and we came to this house, this home. And we knocked on the door, the two of us, dirty, hungry, head-shaved, uniformed women. Obviously, they knew who we were. It was the death march. They saw the rest go by, probably. We knocked on the door, and a man and a woman came to the door, and they opened the door. And they looked at us and said, in German, pointing to go to the barn, and they would bring us food. And they would have to go, the man told us he would have to go and get ration tickets in order to keep us and feed us. They didn't bring us any food, but we did go into the barn. About an hour or so later, or maybe a little longer, the man came back leading the Russian soldiers into the barn where we were. And they were the ones that actually rescued us from the barn, but at that point we knew, both my friend and you, and I knew that he was going to turn us in. He didn't want to meet the Russian soldiers, but did meet them and brought them to us. We would have been turned in to the Gestapo if he didn't meet the Russian soldiers at that point who rescued us.
What was life like in the ghetto?
What was life like in the ghetto?
I can describe the area. It was a building. I think it was a school. I'm not sure, but I think it was a public school at one point. With the rooms inside, everything was removed from the inside the building. We slept on the floor. The food that was given to us during that time was ladled out to us outside. We had to line up for it. While we were in the ghetto itself, they were still feeding us. They meaning the Czechs or the Germans or whoever the guards were. They were still bringing food to us twice a day. Most of the people, the younger people, were asked to go to do work. They were literally doing slave labor at that time. Some on farms, some on different areas. Those that could work, and those that couldn't, or they were sick, or they had children, stayed within the ghetto itself. We were not abused while we were in the ghetto. We were not punished in any way. But I remember life could have gone on had we stayed there. It was not ideal, but it wasn't really terrible at that point.
There's so much more that Fritzi could tell us, but we like to end these conversations by asking, what is your legacy?
My legacy, I think my wonderful family, and I thank what we do at the museum and the education, and hoping that from us, the survivors, the world can become a better world, and hopefully learn from the past, hopefully, so that people don't make the same mistakes, so that there are many good people. I'm hoping the good people are going to stand up and speak out when they need to. I'm hoping the young people are going to grow up and be strong and not allow these kind of tragedies to happen again. I'm hoping from what I and we do in the museum calls attention to the world about the past, so that it does not continue to make the same mistakes, and that people, good people, will not allow this to happen again. I'm hoping that there are lessons that are learned from Holocaust survivors and from the past. I am hoping that there will be a better world. I'm hoping that I'm leaving a good world for my grandchildren, your grandchildren, and all the young people that deserve to be raised in a good world.
Thank you, Fritzi. And I'd also like to thank all of you and invite you to exit through the back of the theater to explore the other galleries of the Take a Stand Center. And if you'd like to also return to Museum